Today's October 7th. We're at the Musso family vineyard getting our year's supply of Dolcetto. With us today is Ken Musso, the owner of Musso Vineyard. So Ken, why don't you tell us a little bit about the vineyard?
Well, we have several different Italian varietals here. We have Barbera, we have Nebbiolo, and we have Dolcetto. We made the decision to plant in 1995, proceeded to do so the next year after we were able to obtain some good budwood from both Barolo and Barbaresco.
Excellent. So the vineyard was planted in
1996.
Excellent. What's your tonnage per acre here?
Well, usually with the Dolcetto we get about 8 pounds per vine, and with the Nebbiolo we might get 3.
Okay. And you own your own winery as well, do you not?
Yes, we do.
And who is that?
We are Due Vigna Vineyard, and we grow grapes. That means two family vineyards in Italian. We grow grapes here in El Dorado, and as well we grow Napa Valley Cabernet.
Okay. And where do you find your Dolcetto grapes going to besides your own vineyard and Montoliva Vineyard Winery?
It's you and I.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So how's the harvest look this year?
Well, we had a few bumps in the road with a very, very late spring. Very moderate temperatures during the summer. We did have a 3-day heat spike, which we got some sunburn on some of the south side. But I think, year in, year out, the vineyard now being 14, 15 years old is really evened out, and so you don't get huge ups and downs in quality. It's really kind of leveled out. So I'm confident that we're going to have another good year with Dolcetto. It's done very well here.
And the Dolcetto out of this vineyard makes pretty good wine, doesn't it?
Well, I sure think it does, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ken, thank you very much for taking a moment out of what I'm sure is a very busy day. I'll let you get back to harvesting.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Ken.
We'll talk to you next time.
You know, one thing about harvest is it can mean some really long days. I'm not sure what time it is. I think it's about 7:30. We're crushing the Dolcetto that we picked up earlier today from Musso Family Vineyards. We're working on the second bin, running it through the crusher, and I'd say we probably, including cleanup, have another 2 to 3 hours. But you know what? That's harvest. It's Thursday morning, October 21st, and today is pressing day. We harvested this Dolcetto on October 7th, I believe, and it is now done fermenting. The process of pressing is basically separating the finished wine from the skins and the seeds. We're going to be pulling the finished wine out of this container, sending it over to the press, and it's going to end up in this tank right over here. Here, let me walk you around. You could basically see this as being step 2 in the process of the Montoliva Vineyard Winery Dolcetto that you're going to enjoy. This is the finished fermentation. Now, that's mostly skins you see up there at the top. We're going to be pumping all of this out of here using this monster right here. This is a really big pump. This guy would probably pump all the water out of Lake Tahoe if I was so inclined. I'm pretty sure the folks at Tahoe would not approve. This is our press over here. This is a horizontal screw press. Now this guy is a beast. He's been around for a while. He's probably been in Nevada County for the last 20 years. But this guy is at least, oh gosh, I don't know, 30 or 40 years old. So we'll be pumping all of the wine and the must and the skins and the seeds into here, and then firing this guy up and squeezing all of the juice down into this pan down here. And then we'll run the juice through our versatile little, pretty much pumps any kind of wine pump, and over into this tank. And then the wine will spend 4 or 5 days in this tank while it settles, and any solids or stuff that are in there will settle to the bottom. And then at that point, the wine will be transferred into barrels. We'll be getting started with the operation here in just a moment. So after a couple of hours of prep time, we're now at work doing the actual pressing. Actually, right now all we're doing is pumping. Our big pump is pumping out all of this this must and juice right now. Over into our press. Down into the pan, which is in turn getting pumped over into the tank. And when this is when we're all done here, this guy will probably be completely full, and we'll have about 1,000 liters of 2010 Dolcetto. Well, at this point we're all done pumping, and so we're starting to take things apart. It took us a little less than an hour. I'll shovel the rest of that out with my handy shovel, and then we'll proceed with pressing this. Now this stuff is actually going to go into a different tank. Here's what we've got of what is essentially free-run juice. By free-run juice, we're talking about all of the wine that comes off without having to do any kind of pressing to it. It's typically a little bit sweeter, has a little less of a tannin content, and so I like to actually separate what's called the press fraction from the free run, and then we'll probably blend some or most of it back in later. Well, we're now pressing the Dolcetto. As you can see, this guy is really, really loud. It does a nice job of gently pressing the skins. I don't actually take the screw down too far. I like a real light press on my, particularly on my Dolcetto. So there we have it. 1,000 liters of 2010 Dolcetto, all nice and pressed. That seemed to go pretty fast, but in fact we started off getting set up at about 7 o'clock this morning, and it's now about 3:30 in the afternoon. So it takes a little while to press 2 tons of grapes. Now let's see what we've got, shall we? The nice things about going into a tank, real easy, just tap out a little bit. You know, I always love the color of Dolcetto. It's always got such a bright ruby red to it. Obviously, this is very cloudy. It hasn't had an opportunity to settle yet, and it's very young. You know, I love the nose on a freshly pressed wine note. So alive, so vibrant. That's going to be pretty good in a year or two. I think I'll go do a pump over on some Petite Syrah. Ciao.